Okay, in this video I'm going to do section 6.2 on factoring trinomials of this form, x squared plus bx plus c, where the lead coefficient is 1. And it looks like we've got about 9 of them here I'll go through and do. So just like in class, there's similar problems. I'm going to do the practice problems starting on page 425. This is 425, and they are the practice problems instead of the examples. So I'll just label it like P1 for the first practice problem on the right hand side. X squared plus 12x, and that'll be plus 20. Okay, so as I was saying in class, these are all, the lead coefficient is 1. That's what differentiates sections 6.2 from 6.3. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up my parentheses and fill it in. And here I've got 20. What numbers will get me 12 in the middle there are, I'll just list the factors of 20 that I know until I run across something that adds up to 12. And it looks like there it is. 10 plus 2 is 12, and 10 times 2 is 20 when I multiply. So I've got 10 here and 2 here. Okay, and that's it. That's my factorization. Okay, here's practice problem 2. And again, I've got 22 here, so I'll set it off to the side. Factors of positive 22 that add up to be negative 23. So it looks like it's going to be negative 22 times negative 1. Negative 22 plus negative 1 is the negative 23, and negative 22 times negative 1 is positive 22. So I've got negative 22 and negative 1. And that's my answer here. Over here to practice problem 3. I've got, let me scoot it over just a smidgen here. So again, I'll set up my parentheses, x and x. This time I've got negative 36. I'm going to write it down here, negative 36. And what are my factors? It'll give me a 5 in the middle. I've got 12 and times 3. I've got 9 times 4. So it looks like the 9 and the 4 will go. I need a positive 5, so that means the 4 is negative and the 9 is positive. So when I write this in, it's going to be x plus 9 and x minus 4. Next. Practice problem 4 is this one here. Let's see what we come up with here. So this time we're dealing with y's. Negative 48 is my number. And I got a difference of 2 here this time. You'll notice when it's a negative last number, that my possibilities here are positive and negative number, which have to subtract to give me the middle number here. So in this case, I'm going to have 8 and 6. And it looks like the 6 is negative, 8 is positive. So I've got y plus 8 and y minus 6. Practice problem 5. Nice setup. Get the 15 down here. I need two numbers that'll give me 6 in the middle and multiply to be 15. So what have I got? 15 times 1. I've got 5 times 3. That'll get me 8. And that's all I've got. I have no other values, so this one is going to be called prime. I can't factor anything out of it right from the get-go, right from the start. Okay, here's the peculiar looking one with the b squared at the end. I know what to do with the a squared at the beginning. The lead coefficient is 1, so that translates to the word easy for us. And so that means a goes here and a goes here. And the b squared, let's take care of that now by putting a b here and a b here. Now I can ignore that b squared, the middle term as well, and just use the coefficients here. So notice I got a negative 13 in the middle with a positive 30. So that means both these numbers are going to be negative and add up to 13, which makes sense that it's going to be 10 and 3. Negative 10 and negative 3. So how about a minus 10b and a minus 3b. Negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, there it is. And I mentioned in class about doing a quick check of your first and last terms. A times a is a squared, and negative 10b times negative 3b is positive 30b squared. Quick check to see if you're right. Alright, I skipped practice problem 7. I'm not going to give you anything on the exam like that. Save that for your 110 class. And we'll go to practice problem 8, where I did something similar in class. When you get this, rearrange it back into descending order of x squared minus 14x plus 48. That's all you need to do with that. Lead coefficient is 1. You got x's here. It's redundant after a while. I hope you feel the same way. 48's my value, positive. Middle term is negative, so both of these are going to be negative. And it looks like one number is going to be 6 and the other number is going to be 8. So I got x minus 6, x minus 8. Last one here. Here's the one where I don't have the lead coefficient as 1. It's a 4 there. And our second step in this process is, can I factor out the 4? And in this case I can. So the 4 comes out, and I'll put back what's left over, which is that nice x squared. 24 divided by 4 is 6x, and that's going to be plus 9. Now what's left over is the trinomial with a lead coefficient of 1, so then I can factor that a second time, at least try to. So there I have x and x. And now this time I've got 9 that comes over here for sidebar. And it's got to add up to be negative 6. So it looks like that's going to be negative 3 times negative 3. Okay, and I've got x minus 3 and x minus 3. And the one thing we don't want to forget is the 4 up here that we factored out originally. Bring that down. And you can write it, you can leave it like this. Some people write it would maybe like 4 times x minus 3 and squaring that. another alternate way of writing it. But that's good enough. Either way, this way is satisfactory as you get into factoring these different trinomials. So that's it for 6.2. Our next video will be over 6.3, which is a little more involved, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday to explain it. Okay, until then, good night.